Hey Flosstube, I am doing video number 6 and I have somebody who wants to make an appearance. You want to come up here? Let me see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can you say hi? Fenway, look. Where's Fenway? You see Fenway? Can you say hi? Look. Look. Oh, look. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Oh, say hi. See, I think I'm a puppy. But I'm getting big. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Oh. Are we gonna get down now? You wanna get down? You want your treat? You want a treat? You want a treat? You want a treat? Okay, here, let's get a treat. Come on. Oh my God, he's like 40 pounds. Okay, ready? Here, a treat. There you go. Good boy. Okay. That was Fenway. I think most of you may have seen him in my second or third video when he was small. I think he was like 6 or 8 pounds and now he's like 40 pounds. So, but now that he is eating a treat, I am getting ready to do video number 6. And it's hopefully going to be short and sweet because I have a lot of stuff to do on my day off. I just got back from getting my daughter's braces off. She's had braces for 3 years. And so we spent the morning doing that. I got the chip in my tooth fixed. I don't know if you noticed that in my other videos, but I had a chip and now I don't. So I'm very excited. So I'm going to start right in with my stitching. I'm thinking my last video, I'm looking at my calendar. I think my last one I did was either September 17th or 18th. It was either Saturday or Sunday. Because then the next Saturday I flew back to Florida for my sister's wedding. And then we were there until the following Monday. And so it's been about 3 weeks since we've been back. So, and yes, I got there, the baby and I got there, a few days before Hurricane Matthew decided to come. We live kind of right in this, we don't live there anymore, obviously, because we live here in Maine. Lived in Ocala, which is kind of in the center of the state, width-wise, so in the center from right to left, east to west, I guess it would be, and then northern. So, I mean, we rarely ever get any major issues from hurricanes, no matter which direction they come from, either the Gulf side or the East Coast side. So I got there Saturday night before we even, like, Hurricane Matthew was even a thing to us. And then I think they started talking about it Monday, Tuesday. My husband and my 2 older girls were supposed to arrive Thursday night. And Wednesday afternoon, it was looking like their flight would most likely get canceled. So I talked to JetBlue, and they got them on an early morning flight, and they landed in Orlando about 1. It did take them about 4 hours to drive from the airport, which is normally like an hour and a half. Just because of the traffic. There were a lot of people that evacuated to our area from the East Coast. So it's a good thing we got the hotel way ahead of time, because you wouldn't think it would be difficult to find a hotel room in Ocala, Florida. But yeah, during the hurricane it was. So the hurricane went up the East Coast from Thursday evening till like Friday evening. We didn't get anything. I mean, slight breeze, some rain, not even significant rain. We were at the hall decorating all day, and I think at one point we may have lost the power for 2 minutes. Not even really long enough to be like, hey, what are we gonna do about the power? I mean, it was like 2 minutes. By Friday night, it was gone. It was headed up the coast. And Saturday evening, we had a beautiful outdoor wedding ceremony, and it was very nice. Not a cloud in the sky. I'd show you pictures, but we don't really, she doesn't have much posted. I didn't take any pictures. I was in the wedding. My 3 girls were in the wedding. I didn't have time to pick up a camera and do anything, so I didn't take any pictures. But anyway, we came to talk about stitching. So even with all that, I'm sorry, I keep looking off. I would say I think I've been able to do a good amount of stitching. I did take one project with me to Florida. That's going to be the last one I talk about. Since I've come back, I've started a pseudo rotation. I didn't get a lot of stitching done down in Florida because obviously there was a lot of wedding stuff. So I would say the most significant portion of my stitching has been the past 2 weeks since I've been back. So the first thing I'm going to show you is just a little project I finished. I keep smaller projects at work so that rather than bring my stitching to and from work, I was doing that for a little while, but I would find that if I left at the end of the day and had forgotten my project, then I was stuck. So I have a drawer in my desk that has a bunch of Mill Hill kits in it, and then I just have a bigger project right now that I keep in the drawer at my desk, just because, I mean, Mill Hill kits are nice and fun, but I don't want to do just Mill Hill kits at work. So, but the first one I'm going to show you, I finished, other than I haven't put the little treasure on there and I haven't cut them out, but I started this one during Stitch Mania. Stitch Mania, I think this may have either been the first or second project I started on during Stitch Mania. Like I said, he's done. He just needs a little star that hangs down, and he needs to be cut out. Honestly, I probably won't do that till it gets to like November. I'll do it before I plan to send it out to my stepdad, because that's going to be his little ornament. Last Christmas, I did a penguin ornament for my mom, but it was before I was doing YouTube, so I don't have any pictures or anything. I think when I was doing the video last time, I had talked about haul that all I had gotten was the little sticks. Are they called tacky bobs? So I have. This is my first time ever using it, and I have like the rest of the beads there. So it was really nice. I normally am very basic. Normally I would take the beads and pour some out in my hand and separate whatever color I happen to be doing at the time and put them in, I don't know, on my desk if I was at work. If I was at home and I was curled up with a blanket, I'd stick them on my blanket. And then I would take about 6 or 7 and stick them in my mouth, because that's real sanitary. I'd stick them in my mouth and then basically pull each one out of my mouth as I was beading it. So this is a step up from that, from sticking beads in my mouth. I have accidentally swallowed multiple beads over the years, but luckily Mill Hill gives you a lot, so you could I mean, you could have a dinner on beads and still do good. So I haven't taken the beads off the tacky bob yet because I haven't needed it for anything else. So that was the first thing I got done, and the only thing I've gotten done. So the second project I'm going to show you is the second one I'm doing at work. Like I said, it's a little bit of a bigger, not a big project, but bigger than the Mill Hill kits. I also started this during... Why are you licking the wall? Fenway, stop. Stop that. He's licking the wall. Anyway, stop. Go lay down. So I also started this one during Stitch Mania as well, and it is the Lizzie Kate Dog Lessons for People. This is actually the only project I'm currently working on that I don't have definite plans for. I'm just working on it. I had when I initially purchased it a couple of years ago, it was actually to make my friend, as a gift to make my friend Sabrina. But then she got pregnant and had the baby, and you saw the baby announcement I did. So obviously with her getting pregnant, having the baby, I wanted to do something other than the dog sampler. So anyway, I'm rambling, as I do. So here is my current progress. So last time you saw this, I had only done a couple of days on the, oops, I'm not good at this yet. I had only done a couple days for Stitch Mania. So I had, I don't know how this is gonna work. I'm just gonna have to let it open. So I had everything from like the dog over this way. So I think I had the words of, water, for. I had the dog, and then when I had half of the word listen, and I had this, which I think is the beginning of the word forgive. So everything on this side, like drink and the bowl and avoid biting and sit close, and like the first half of listen and this whole line I did not have done. So I've gotten those done probably maybe over the course of 1 to 2 weeks. Obviously with doing this at work, I see patients, so I don't sit at my desk. It's basically my stitching time is if I happen to get work early or I don't have a patient at a particular time. On my lunch hour, I do a lot of stitching as well if I don't come home for lunch. So I may, over the course of a day, get anywhere from 30 minutes to like an hour and a half. But that's all broken up into literally like 2 to 5 minute segments. So it's literally like, I'm gonna get this line done and then I'm gonna go. Or, you know, if my nurse is rooming a patient, she's doing all the nurse questions, you know, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna get this color done as fast as I can. It's funny because when I first started there, it takes a while to build up patience. So I spent a lot of time, you know, a year ago when I first started without a lot to do. So I would bring my cross stitching in and I would like do it kind of sneakily because I don't want to get in trouble. Like I'm at work. I used to stitch when I worked in the ER back in Florida because, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, your boss isn't going to be coming around going, you know, what are you doing? And obviously I wouldn't stitch if I had patients to see. I gotta put you on pause real quick because I gotta see what he's doing out there. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. He was actually just chewing on one of his toys, which is what I'd like him to do, and not chew on the baby's toys or toilet paper. He's actually chewed. Yeah, I speak English. He actually has chewed the hands and feet off of all of my 2-year-old's dolls, which is really creepy. But it's cute because she'll pick them up and she'll hold them and she'll be like, I love you anyway. So anyway, but while I was out there, it actually, I found a project I forgot about that I also had finished. So, oh, and I meant to tell you, I'm not good at this part. I meant to tell you that this is stitched on 28 count Earth and Lugana from Pictures Plus. So it's just a really neutral color. So anyway, I think I was telling you that at work when I first started, I wasn't very busy, and I would do my cross stitching and try to be sneaky about it because I didn't want to get in trouble. And then it was funny because my boss would come in and be like, oh, what are you working on? Oh, that's so nice. And compliment me on it. So after a while, I was like, whatever, I'm here. If I have patience, I'll see patients. But if I don't have patience, I'm not going to sit here and like stare at the wall. I need to have something to do. So the project I almost forgot about is, and another finish. I have like 2 finishes in the past 3 weeks, which probably makes the fact that I have maybe, I don't know, like 5 finishes all year. I'm really bad at keeping track. I don't have any excuses. I have that cross-stitch project app that everybody else has. There's nothing in it. And I can vaguely kind of tell you, oh, when I started this and when I didn't. But I need to keep better track of like my projects. So I know that I finished this little Santa, finished the baby sampler. I finished that a little pink ornament, little pink tennis shoe baby and ornament, and this. So these are the 4 that I know about, but I think I've gotten a couple more done. So here it is. This is Mini Solar System from Clouds Factory. And I think when I showed it to you last, I know I had the sun. I think I might have been working on the sun or just finished it, and I had over to Neptune. Did I? Maybe I had Mercury. I don't know. I know that I didn't have over here, I didn't have Pluto done because my husband did not like the charted colors for Pluto. And I don't think I had any of the writing. And I don't think I had any of their eyes on there. I don't know. I love their eyes. I just think they're really, really cute. But I have all of the colors. And then I'll kind of do a close-up of Pluto. So if you look at Pluto, if you like Google Pluto, her, it's a planet. It's not a him or her. Colors are like a rust color and then a bluish gray, and then it has like this sandy colored, almost heart-shaped spot in part of it. So I'll try to get really close up. So this gray blue color I think is the same, but this all that was this rust color was like another blue. And then this little, if you can see, I kind of made a heart in this taupey color. That wasn't charted there at all. I totally did myself. This is probably like the only purposeful chart changing I've done. But my husband loves it. I mean, he doesn't get excited about my stitching. He's like, oh yeah, it's something you do. But He actually thought it was really cool that I changed the colors and made it my own and made it original, so he liked it. Eventually, I will get that framed for his office. He'll probably keep it in his office at work now, and then in a year and a half, when we hopefully sell our house in Florida, we're going to use part of the money, and he's going to build his observatory on our property, and then it'll go in his observatory. So that was the one I forgot about. So my pseudo rotation really just started on Friday, and I decided I was going to spend a week working on my daughter's Haid project, and then a week working on another project. I may have like every other week go back to the Haid. Sorry, I got fuzzies. I may, I also don't want to get burned out, so I may kind of alternate between the Haid and another project and maybe like a mini project. Fenway! It's like worse than having the kids home, I swear. So I know I probably won't alternate between more than 3 projects initially. While I'm trying to start a rotation because I've never done one successfully, I probably won't try to do more than 3 projects at a time. But I also don't want to get burned out doing the Haid either, because I don't get a lot of stitching time, I don't tend to see a lot of progress. And so sometimes for me that can get a little frustrating when you're doing something that, like a Haid, that takes so long to do. So I started this on this last Friday. So it's been less than a week. And the part I have that's new, I've probably since Friday gotten like around 800 stitches in. So the stuff that is new, if you look carefully, you can see right here, from here up, and then across here. So across here, this is, from here to here is like 1 block plus another couple rows. And then over here, I think it's like 2.5 blocks. So, but all along here, it's basically what I've gotten done is like 1 block high. And from here to here is 1 page. So, and you can see it is 95% Krennic. The only other color I've done besides Krennic is I pulled up this black that I had a hanging thread, and over here there's a few barely noticeable, I can't work my fingers, stitches of pink. So I've kind of attempted a modified type parking technique, which obviously is made quite easy by the fact that I am doing Krennic. It's probably get a little bit more difficult when I do, I have actually multiple colors in a block. And then I still have some little areas between like the black and the Krennic that are several colors, but because I had the long Krennic pieces, I didn't want to stop doing those. But anyway, so I'm going to work on that tonight and tomorrow. And I think then start another project. I don't know if it'll be a new project or a whip. I haven't really made any decisions about what'll be next, because I'm kind of in limbo because I'm waiting for a couple of things, and we're going to get into that right now because I'm going to show you the other project. So everybody who watches any of my videos knows that I have been What is that? It's not even attached. Knows that I've been working on a series of ornaments for my sister called the Brooks Books Bride Tree Ornaments. And the last time you saw them, and this is the project I took to Florida with me and did not have a lot of time to stitch on. But last time you saw them, I had finished the fish, Santa, and like the robin, and I was working on the pine cone. So the good news is I finished the pine cone. I worked on it while I was down there. I didn't really work on it on the plane ride down because it was just me and Emmy, the baby. And yeah, no, you're not going to get stitching done while you're flying with a 2-year-old. So I stitched on it while I was there after she went to bed. I stitched on it like once my husband and the kids got there, whenever I had a little bit of downtime. And I actually finished it at the airport at JFK during my layover to fly back here. So here is the pine cone, and it's all done. Okay, and then I'll kind of show you the rest. So there's the 4 I have done. Okay. With that being said, I made a decision. Literally, I took the project out of the Q-snap after I put the last stitch in at JFK. I looked at it and I hate it. Now, don't start freaking out. I don't hate the design. I don't hate the pattern. I love the pattern. I loved the design. I hate the fabric. I've hated the fabric, honestly, since I put my first stitch in Santa. Maybe not my first stitch. Since the first ornament, I've hated this fabric. This is a very, you can see like right through that. This is a very loose weave linen. And I started working on it, started doing the first ornament. I don't even remember how long ago. Started doing the first ornament. It was like, I don't know. I don't really like this fabric. But at the time, I was like so impatient. I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get this done. And have not really enjoyed any of it. Like, there was no part of the stitching process other than watching it progress that I can say, oh, I really enjoy doing this. Which is not usual for me. Like, I love stitching is my relaxation. It's my antidepressant. It's my anti-anxiety medication. It is what I do to relax. I enjoy it, and I was not enjoying it. But, I just had this thought in my head, well, this is the fabric I got, and then especially like the further along you get, like when you finish the first ornament and then you finish the second ornament and you're like, well, I'm doing this as a gift. I really got to do it. You just kind of talk yourself into, I have to do this. But it obviously wasn't done for her wedding. It obviously is not going to get done. Theoretically, it may have gotten done by her first Christmas. I theoretically have time. But especially when I took it out of the Q-snap, I don't have scroll bars. I don't have a big frame. I don't stitch like that. So for me, that's not an option. It has to be something I can put in a Q-snap. And you're probably not even be able to see this, but yeah, you can. You can't really see it. When I took it out of the Q-snap after doing this, and I realized how it kind of flattened out my stitches from the ornament next to it. I don't know. I don't like it. And I kind of made a decision at the airport that I couldn't continue stitching it. And actually part of what made me make that decision was watching, what's her name? You're literally watching my mind go blank right now. She's one of my favorite Flosstubers. She's in Canada. She restarted her chatelaine on a different fabric. You're all shouting her name to the camera right now, and I can't hear you. And yeah, so my mind went blank. You all know who I'm talking about. Like, she had gotten really far on that swan chatelaine, and it was like beautiful. I mean, like, I'm sure you're saying this is beautiful on, through the camera, but the point is she didn't like it and she didn't want to continue it. And it was like, I was actually thinking of her as I was looking at this project in the airport. And I just said, nope, not going to do it. I've done 4 ornaments, which means I have 8 more to do. And I am not going to spend the next 8 ornaments hating this project. So I'm not. So basically the day after I got home, within a couple days of getting home, I ordered some new fabric. So that is what I'm waiting on. I ordered 2 different fabrics from Picture This Plus. For me, it was just the easiest website to go to where I knew I would see like all of their choices up. I do love like a lot of the smaller hand-dyed fabric companies, and probably given any other situation, I would have kind of taken my time and ordered from, like Hand-Dyed by Stephanie or Under the Sea Fabrics or Mackenzie. Hello, thank you. Somebody shouted it. I just heard it. Mackenzie, the girl in Canada, who I love, with the black swan with the swan chatelaine. Anyway, I'm sorry. So given any other situation, I probably would have taken my time and looked carefully at different options for fabric, but I am feeling really antsy, and so I ordered 2 fat halves, which are going to be way more fabric than I need. I did both of these in even weave, probably a Lugana. I don't remember off the top of my head, but my guess is a Lugana because that's something I'm very comfortable stitching with. So the first one was Earthen, the first one I ordered is Earthen, which is the same color that the dog project is on. And it's, it's kind of similar. It's neutral. The other one I ordered, because I wanted a couple different options, was a color called Legacy, which is also, and another thing I did is this is 28 count, and you can see how big these ornaments are, 2/2. So I did, when I ordered the 2 new pieces of fabric, I ordered 32 count, just to make them a little bit smaller. I just wanted them to be a tiny bit smaller. I'm still going to do them over 2. I haven't decided if I'm going to do 1/2 or 2/2 yet. I may do a couple sample stitches because I'm going to have plenty of fabric to play with. But anyway, so that was a very long story to tell you that I'm starting these ornaments over again. It's just, I need a tighter weave of fabric because I don't think I have extreme tension in my stitching, but I definitely have more tension than you can have on this very loose linen, especially if you don't stitch. I mean, the Q-snaps are tight. I think the Q-snaps are tight, and I can make them really tight, but I didn't like it. So that's why I was kind of hemming and hawing, because once I'm done with this week, I don't know if my fabric will be here in time to start the ornaments. So if the fabric is here before Friday, or even if I get like an email saying they're on their way by Friday, I may just continue the heaven and earth design. If Friday comes and I still don't have any idea as to when it's going to get here, I will pull something else out to do. So, yeah, so that's what I'll do. That was very long-winded, wasn't it? You're used to that. If you watch me, you're used to long-winded. So, that is all my stitching. I really think that I was very productive. Like I've said, I don't get a lot of stitching time, and I don't get very consistent stitching time. At work, like I said, I can have anywhere between 30 minutes and 90 minutes stretched out over, a 9-10 hour day. But, when you're stitching in, 1 to 2 minute increments, obviously you're not going to be as productive, because every time you put it down. And that's why I usually pick very simple projects. I would never do like a Haid at work. I would never do anything where I really that either had like a lot of color changes or anything where I had to think about, because then every time I put it down, I'd be like, where am I? So that's really for my simple projects. But then even at home, there are nights I don't get any stitching done, or really any stitching time or anything consistent. There may be one or, there's probably at least one night a week that I don't stitch at all. When I do stitch, I probably get anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour after the baby goes to bed. The older kids are pretty much on their own. They do their own thing. We spend time as a family. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like we don't enjoy each other. I don't have to explain my family. I'm not going to explain my family. We spend time together. My kids are fine. But they're 13 and 11. They're not going to want to sit and play board games with me every night either, and nor do they have to. So I do, after the baby goes to bed, I might get anywhere from an hour. If I, don't have anything else to do, I might get, like on the weekends, if we're staying up late, I might get up to 3 hours. So anywhere from, let's say, 1 to 3 hours per night, 5 nights a week. So with that being said, I probably stitch, depending on what I have to do, about 100 stitches an hour. If I got big blocks of color, probably a little bit more than that. If I have a lot of color changes, maybe a little less than that. So you calculate how much stitching I can get done in a week, because I laid it out for you. So that's all my stitching. That's all my plans. So the rest of this week, going to work on Butterfly Effect, which is my Haid for my daughter, and a new project to be named later, starting on Friday. So, look, I made notes. Aren't you happy? Yeah, on my daughter's artwork. because I'm a good mom that way. Okay. Second thing is haul. That's really easy. I don't have any haul. I like haul. I ordered the 2 pieces of fabric. I just don't happen to have anything right now. So, very easy. No haul. But I have a couple really strong wishes, I guess. And one of these I had meant to mention on my last video, but I was trying to race through it because my kids were here and my husband was here and he was listening from the kitchen, and I just felt really weird and awkward about it, so I didn't mention it. But I had mentioned that I was watching Miska Cat's Flosstube videos, and I fell in love with the project she's working on. A lot of you guys are working on chatelaines, and really up until now, I like them. I think they're beautiful, but I had not really found a chatelaine that I looked at and was like, that's it. That's the one. Until I saw Miska Cat's butterfly lace. She held that thing up and I was like, I fell in love. I was like, that's it. I gotta have that. Now, I probably just get it kitted up by European Cross Stitch because I'm super lazy and I just know that if I had to kit it up myself, I wouldn't do it. I'd never get started. I'd get a pattern and it would sit in my thing and I'd never do it. So I'm in love with that. I want it. I want to get it. I found the kit. I know how much it costs. With that being said, I don't know when that will happen. It's definitely not going to happen in the too near future, just because I don't really have on the near horizon time that I think I could devote to it. And with having this hate going on and with having just a couple things that I want to finish first, it doesn't make sense to get it now because I'm not going to be able to do anything with it now. Plus, I could probably use that with as expensive as it is, I could probably make that like a birthday present that my husband could get me, because I never know what to tell him to get me for my birthday or Christmas or anything like that, because I don't need anything. I mean, there's nothing that I want or I have to have. So a lot of times for like Christmas, like last year we got 2 Adirondack chairs for our porch. Woo, Merry Christmas, Adirondack chairs. But it's just because, I don't need anything. Oh, hold on just a second. He's chewing on something. Give me 1 second. Fenway, what do you eat? Okay. You're good. Sorry. Sorry. He found a bone. I'm just super paranoid because this dog has eaten every pair of earphones and headphones in our house, like every single pair. Like he finds them hidden in drawers and eats them. So, okay. So, anyway, I really want that, but I can't tell you when I'll be getting it because I really, once I get it, want to have the time to spend on it. Another thing is about that project is that I was so excited about it. I thought it was the prettiest thing in the world, and I was so excited to show my husband and my kids. My 13-year-old Hannah looks at it and she goes, "That looks like some old lady stitching." I'm like, "Really? Old lady stitching?" So she kind of deflated my ego there for a second, but I'm like, kiss my butt. This is what I like. And trust me, you don't have like very, highly educated opinions on things. So I don't care if she likes it or not. Because honestly, by the time I stitch it, I probably will be an old lady. And so it'll be perfect for my old lady stitching. So the second thing I fell in love with, and I will be getting this, although because I've already put it in my like favorite section of what is it? Etsy. I've already put the kit in my favorite box, told my husband this is what I want for Christmas. It's also slightly expensive, but way cheaper than the Shadowline. So what this is, I had seen somebody post this, not on a video, but I was on Stitch Mania, and I was just not even, just looking through my feed on Facebook, and like this Stitch Mania post popped up, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta have that. Like, I think I even commented, like, I hate you. Like, now I have to have this. So the person that had posted this to Stitch Mania, because I want to give her credit, I don't know if she watched my videos, but I want to give her credit, is Diane Koski, Koski, had posted a picture of a nativity sampler. It's called Nativity Sampler, and I think it was by Victoria's Sampler. And I think I've mentioned on several videos, I collect nativities. They're not out year-round because that'd be kind of weird to have them out year-round. But at Christmas, we have nativities. And I really like kind of unique nativities, or unique styles of displaying nativities. So I saw this she was working on, and like had to stop what I was doing to look this thing up. I fell in love with it. I like called my husband from whatever he was doing, and it was like, no, I have to have this. It's, I think the full kit on Etsy is around like $90 to $100. So it's not crazy expensive, but it's not probably something I would just go out and just buy on a random Wednesday. But I love it. I have never done really any specialty stitching. I did do Lazy Daisies on that birth sampler, but it was on perforated paper, and so I'm really not sure on fabric what they look like, because it was very odd looking on perforated paper. But this is full of specialty stitches. It has hardanger in it, and so it's really kind of scary. It's like scary outside of my comfort zone, but I don't care because it's beautiful, and I'm gonna have it, and I'm probably gonna have it for Christmas, and it's probably gonna be one of my first new starts next year. I'm gonna have it. So those, while I don't have any haul, those are my two things that I really want. So last thing on my list to talk about, I'm really excited. I don't know how many of you watch Julicious on Flosstube. Her name is Julia. I think it's Julia Heineman. She goes by Julicious, and it's J00licious if you're trying to find her, and if you're not watching her, you should, because she's really funny. But anyway, she is in the process of setting up a Flosstube retreat. She set up a Facebook group. It's called Flosstube Retreat North America. And she's setting it up for next October. And I pretty much told my husband I'm going. I was like, you have a year to know I'm going. I'm like, it's in North America, so I don't have to go, comparably, I'm not like flying to Australia or something, but I basically told him I'm going. Super, super excited because I love Flosstube. I love watching Flosstube. I love, feeling like I have friends out there who do the same thing I do, even though you don't know me, I don't know you. I've said this on previous videos. I feel like I know you. You invite me into like your living room and your cars and wherever you happen to be talking. So I feel like I know you. And it would be really so much fun to meet people that I watch on Flosstube. I don't know that I'll get any stitching done because I'll be like walking around going, I totally watch you on Flosstube. So I'm definitely planning to go. Super excited about it. So yeah, it is a group. She has a group page on Facebook called Flosstube Retreat. The name of the group is Flosstube Retreat North America. And I think she said she's working on a website as well. So for people who don't do Facebook, she'll have that. So that's super exciting. Very excited about planning that, especially like once it gets closer and you know like where it's going to be and you can actually make plans. I have like friends and family in multiple areas of the country, so now granted it could be in Canada, I don't know, although I actually have family in Canada as well, so but like I don't care where it is. I'll travel West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, South, North, I don't care. I'll go. So I'm pretty open. So that's all I had on my list to talk about. Flosstube Retreat, North America. That's all I had. Excuse the messiness. I didn't dress up for you today because it's already noon and I still have grocery shopping and laundry to do. But if you're still here, thank you for watching. Oh, I have one more thing. I didn't put on my list, but I have one more thing. So I initially was planning to do it in this video, but I kind of put this video together last minute, like literally 10 minutes before I turned the camera on. And so I didn't have time to kind of plan things out. But in my next video, I'm going to do a pass the stash with my Brooks Books baby announcement pattern. So if you guys don't know what pass the stash is, it's again something. It may have been started beforehand, but the first person I ever heard talk about it was Mackenzie, whose name I forgot earlier. So Mackenzie, when she finishes a project and she's not going to use the pattern again, she basically does like a contest, not even a contest. It's not a contest. I guess it is a contest. I don't know. But anyway, so if you make some comment on her video that when she announces it, she will basically just send you the pattern. Now you can only do this with printed patterns. So something like this, which is why I cannot do a pass the stash with this, because this was a PDF pattern. So in case you don't know, and you want to participate and pass the stash in the future, you cannot do it with PDF patterns. In fact, it's funny because I don't have the pattern in front of me because I'm done with it, but when I printed out the pattern from the PDF, literally along the side says, this pattern printed for Lena Coates or something. So it specifically says who can use the pattern. But printed patterns you can, and when I say printed by the manufacturer, not printed on your printer from a PDF, this kind of printed, you can pass those on. Some people sell them. I think it's much nicer Not that you shouldn't, I'm not condemning you if you sell your patterns, that's fine, but I think it's kind of cool to give them away. So that is what I'm planning to do in my next video, so I can kind of make an announcement and show the pattern, not show the pattern, but you know what I mean. I'm going to give away that pattern, and then just along with it, it's not going to be a separate giveaway, it's along with it is going to be it's a little pattern from the Mill Hill kit that I did, that little pink tennis shoe, because I kind of think they go together. Do understand that the only thing from the Mill Hill kit that's coming is going to be the pattern. But I mean, you can, I'm sure most of you, if you stitch even on a semi-regular basis, will have enough DMC to recreate the little tennis shoe, and you can buy beads as well. In fact, I think the pattern says which beads to use, and I'm not sending that as I'm just sending it along with it just to get rid of it, so that I don't, because I feel bad about throwing it away, because somebody may want it. But anyway, so right. So next video we'll talk about the Pass the Stash giveaway for my Brooks Books baby announcement, and yeah, so maybe you'll want to watch, I don't know. So anyway, guys, have a good day. Bye.